And how do you think that you as a manufacturer, you could potentially prepare for adopting some form of digital automation or technology into the business? What would be, when you're looking at doing maybe a bit of an audit or a digital audit on the whole manufacturing process from start to finish, or the full business process from start to finish, what would you say your first thing would be that you're kind of looking at doing?
It would be the job on times. At the minute, we've got one data collection screen on the shop floor. We'd move towards a data collection sort of capsule in each cell, and then a dashboard up in the actual production office.
Yeah,
that's the one. What we
visual management, correct. All the live data.
Yeah.
Guys can come in, check the big screen out, see what's in production, see what's out, see what's in stock, see literally every full ERP, isn't it? Yeah. It
is, because at the minute there is quite a lot of manual, paper chasing around, and just verbal communication about it, which it's great because people are talking, but it's just so inefficient, and you've only got to, it's a big shop, you can forget what you talk, the message you've been delivering from there by the time you end up there. So yeah, that central sort of nerve centre with a dashboard, that'd be the big one for us.
And it's just about understanding from the business side of things, what challenge do you actually have? So a lot of manufacturers don't know what their challenges are, or they do. They think they know what it is, but that's only from them operating in their business without an outsider looking in. You can't stick some form of technology onto something that isn't actually a challenge. It's about understanding what the challenge is and then looking at how digital can then ultimately have a positive impact on the production, which is the end users, their client. It's all about, what's this technology going to help our business satisfy our customers better? That's all it is, isn't it? How can you get more product through more efficiently to the end user who can buy more, so you can make more, ultimately make more cash on it? And then it's just about upskilling the employees to be able to then adopt the technology that the business is embracing. There's two things really.
You've got to have the problem, which our business and a lot of other small manufacturing businesses will face, is actually having the people and the team to the resource to actually get these things across the line. It's only recently, our improvements have come over the last 12 months, and that's come because people are not working at 100%, me included, or across the way. We don't want people working at 100%. You've got to have this bit of spare time, so, and then you've got the cultural issues that, people have done it for, some people have been with us, knocking on 10 years. They don't want to be changing. It's not don't want to be changing, but it's just that much of a routine now.
It's difficult for them to change.
It is. It's as much a culture change as anything else. That's the biggest one to get it across.
People also think that if you're just going to go and stick some automation into a production, they're going to make them all redundant.
Yeah.
And it's not, is it? No. All you're doing is moving resource around. Yeah. All right, you might not need everybody to be able to then manually operate wire cutting, for argument's sake. You can stick some automation machine on it that cuts it down to the length and can whack out thousands more than what one bloke or woman sat there cutting wire to a certain length can do. But you're moving that resource into something else, so you're making that production line more productive, but then moving the resource in terms of the head into another role that's then going to complement what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's down to communication with the team as well. Our intentions, as long as we, our communication is improving, or mine is, should I say, it's improving with the business. It's not as good as it should be. We all get caught up in his day to day. But as long as you're actually, vocalising that, with this automation is here to aid the growth and not to get you out of your seat. You should be able to get a lot of people on board. I've been guilty of it in the past. Just put an automated saw in there, and it's like, well, we're like, no, that's not the case. We want to upskill you to do this task.
I've got a question for you. It's a bit of a different one, but you've talked about a lot of things you've learnt, and you've talked about how you were when you first started up the business. So if you could turn around and speak to the 22, 23-year-old Max starting off with his own business, what's the best piece of advice you could give that young man?
Go for the opportunities, just look into them a bit more.
No, I agree with that because, and this is just coming back to the tech kind of theme that we're on, is research, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can jump into things, and same with buying, some form of technology or whatever into your business. You can jump into it because it's everybody else in the industry is doing it. It's a new piece of kit, blah blah blah. But is it right? Is it the right thing to do? You need to take a step back, and it's the same with making those business decisions, isn't it? Especially when you're young and you're ambitious and you want to take over the world, so to speak. You jump into it and you do it.
Yeah.
And there is an element to that, like we mentioned earlier, but at the same time, the more experience you get, the more you actually take a step back before hitting that send button, or before making that call, or before purchasing whatever. Sometimes you just do it, but the more experience you have, you take a step back, don't you?
You do.
And I've experienced that here, where a couple of years ago we'd just jump into doing it and then work out how to do it. Whereas now we'll take a step back and understand, is it the right thing to do?
Also, moving forward, it's confidence in the team as well. This is the most confidence I've had in me and the team. It's the best version of me ever. Sal's the best version that she's ever been. We've invested so much training in the, in the management team. The accounts, the sales, the estimating across the board. We have spent the last 12 months. Everything up to that point, were experience. Last year was really putting it into practice, and we knocked it out of the park. So now it's like, we sit back, we've got the normal business issues, but they're not because of bad decisions. So that's why I can sit back and just be a bit more chill now and just think, well, you know what? You're absolutely in control of it, so. Do
you think that message cascades down to your team?
Absolutely.
So if they saw us stressed out of his head, Max and Sally, but also now they see a quite chilled, cool, calm, collected, making strategic, high-value decisions, Max and Sally, they can see that. They know that there's a bit of a change. Not I wouldn't say a positive change, because you can't help how you're feeling and you can't help certain things, but I wonder if that is then actually cascaded across all the way from the top down in the business.
I believe it is. I'd be interested to, for somebody to do sort of a confidential sort of questionnaire. If I ever sent it out, they'd be like, that's not confidential, who's going to know what it is? But, Sally used to call, you would say, just you're the ultimate mood hoover, you either, bouncing off the walls, or people are, but it's because I'm just that emotionally driven about things. When I'm quite energetic and passionate about things, it's great. But on the flip side of that, we're all human beings, we all have bad days, but it's knowing when to avoid people on them days. And as crazy as it sounds, I can't be, I work in my own office now, with Sally, but I don't affect the open office, whereas I used to work in there. And, when things didn't go so well, everybody else knew about it. It's not fair, so you need to have time to digest these negative sort of emotions, and then, just level back off, and then, and then restart. So that's probably one of the biggest things.
It's a bit of visibility of...
I know, it's just self-awareness of how much you can affect other people. And obviously at the top, you do negatively affect, people with your moods. But positively as well, which I'm a lot more positive than I'm negative these days.
It's 3 things off the bat just to close. If you can give anyone in your industry advice that's looking to increase their productivity, straight off the bat, what would it be?
Talk to the team, along with asking the team.
Yeah.
Delve into the detail of each and every product. Don't assume just because you make tens of thousands of them that they're the money makers. And then thirdly, the quality. Manage them returns.
What's next for MG then? You mentioned that you've got a couple of orders that might be, game changing for the business. What's the plans over the next 12 months? Have you got anything in motion? Any key priority projects that you're looking at doing? I know we've got the ISO stuff we're kicking back up on.
So the ISO, our sales and marketing has always been just pushed to the back burner. We've never really liked to shout about what we can do. So, up until a couple of years ago, it were always me and Sally with the business, with the relationships with the customers who just kept the orders coming in. Because we knew it was placed in the market, we didn't want to be treading on everybody's toes. Because we're allowed to, shout about how good we are now. You'll see me annoying everybody on LinkedIn about how great we are and being the best manufacturer in the world.
Just on that, I actually have seen it, and I've seen that the level of engagement that you guys are having on LinkedIn has literally gone from 0 to 100 overnight. Yeah. And you can see with the amount of followers that you've gathered in the last
we are creating it fast. Yeah.
It really has kicked off.
I don't know why. I think it's just, but this is how me and Sally have built the business, just on relationships, just being, open, honest, heart on sleeve. People are going to like us or not, and that's just how we do business. And I think it's showing now, and other people are coming on board.
Bill, Max, I've loved that. I thought it was brilliant. Cheers for coming down, and cheers for talking to us, and actually being quite open about some of the challenges that you've had. The level of information you've given us there has been brilliant, and it's given us loads of stuff to talk about, because if you're having that challenge, you can guarantee someone else is having it. And this is what this is all about, bringing people to the table to talk about stuff that you might not talk about when you're looking at collaborations with other businesses and supply chains. You don't then go in and talk about all the things that may be a challenge or that you're looking at doing. So it's that you've given hopefully people who are watching and listening a good insight into actually how an SME manufacturer is operating at the minute, the kind of challenges that they're having, and what you're doing to be able to overcome it, and actually that these challenges are quite normal.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That was really, really good to sit down with Max from MG Depot. Productivity and digital technology is massive focal points for UK and global manufacturers, specifically within SME. We really hope that the challenges that Max brought to the table, that people listening can actually relate to them and take things away, that the challenges that Max has had are actually real, on the ground, and quite common. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Biz15, the voice of the SME. Follow us on LinkedIn, which is Brook Corporate Developments. Follow us on Instagram, which is Brook Consult, and also Facebook, Brook Consult. And you can listen to these podcasts on Apple and Spotify.